Unfortunately, obviously this hand's not great against PO, but at least we have the ability to like brainstorm fetch if we need to get a Force of Will pretty early. We actually are good against Lavinia at the moment. We're decent against Mentor as well. Okay. Top. Okay. Dog through time. I wonder if I have to play Demonic Tutor in my deck. Just so I can tutor for Breach combo? I don't know. I'd rather not, if possible. Is that a Mentor? Or is that PO? PO for 2? Okay. That's one new Moxen. Okay, sure. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by time walking, and then we'll do Brainstorm Fetch. Or we'll cast... I guess I'd rather run into a misstep with this. Holy moly! Those are good magic cards, aren't they, chat? I don't actually need another Tundra. I'm gonna leave Lotus in case I go for a breach kill. Oh, they had a Flusterstorm. Okay. Well, that's quite good against us here. Because this was probably the most important spell for us. Have I played a land drop? Yes. So I can't really play a channeler. I think I would rather just pitch a channeler currently. I kind of need to find a Force of Will so I can counter a PO from their side, but we didn't find that yet. We hit a Gush. All right, so I guess what we'll do is we'll take this Gush, and that way I have an option if I need to find a Force of Will, and if I don't, then I have a really good Ascendancy next turn between Fate Stitcher and Gush. All right, looks like they do have a PO for 5, which I'm going to have to counter. All right, I have to find a Force of Will, chat. This is not ideal. I should have probably brought back the Tundra. Oh, well. Force? No. All right, Gush, I need you to find me Force of Will. No. I mean, we drew 23 cards. I gave it the old college try. To be fair, if we do get a next turn, might be good. But I do get to go... They used the blue source. That's good for the home team. I get to go Fate Stitcher, untap, Volcanic Island, Manamorphose, untap, second Fate Stitcher, Ponder. I probably go off and win, I would think. Unfortunately, I really needed a force of will there. Can't really beat Time Walk, probably. Oh, they have a Pyroblast? Oh, they have a Lavinia. Ah, yes. I exiled my Lightning Bolts. But my spells aren't free. So it might be fine. I think we could still win this turn. We have a pretty good hand. Obviously, these cards are dead, but we can just pitch them. Looks like opponent has at least a force of will. I don't think this is exactly what they want a force of will. It might actually have been fine for them to force this. Oh, they are going to force it. Okay. That's okay for us. We're just going to untap this. I want to save that target at some point. And then we're going to Stitcher. And then we're going to untap this. And then we're going to Ponder. And then we loot away a Dig Through Time, which we can't cast. These at least trigger this Ascendancy. Make 2 mana. This resolves. Yeah, this should look good here. I think I'll take 1 more Stitcher. That seems reasonable. All right, so I'm going to start saving targets. Save this as a target. Always yield. Yes. Blue. Oh, shit. They both save it as a target? I guess that's fine. Yes. Red. Anamorphose.
Missed this event again.
Aw, you'll get there sometime. Appreciate the Prime sub. You're a powerful wizard. It's a fun one. It's okay. They're gonna do another 4 months, so good for the home team. Not another 4 months. Another 4 events next month. Jesus Christ, not another 4 months. Close, Justin. Close. You tried your best. This looks good. I think this looks good here. Oh, I forgot to pitch the Fate Stitcher. Whoops. I have to say yes every time. Why do I have to say yes every time? Can I not auto yes? Apparently not. I have to pay for that with mana. Yo, no worries. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. This looks good. They had a PO. They couldn't go off with it. Interesting. Why can't I auto yes? That's my question. No, there wasn't an auto yes. Looks like this is going to probably be deterministic at this point. I actually have just a brain freeze. I guess that works. This is the problem I had with Twin the other night. Block. I have lethal actually here by drawing lightning bolt because I block here, attack for 7 for yeah. I could use my keyboard. I have yes bound to Y and I have accept bound to F2, so it's a little awkward, but I can get better. I mean I was hitting all of my F2s. I just wasn't hitting any of my yeses. I'm not really used to hitting yeses, but anyways, I'm gonna bring in. So opponent is on paradoxical outcome, and we did. They have surgical extractions and wear tears in their board. No, that's my board. Their board has a Mystic Remora, Flusterstorm, Pyroblast, Lavinia, Slaughter Games, Mindbreak Trap, Orum's Chant. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, I've actually played Ascendancy in paper. It's a lot easier, actually. It's much easier. In my mind, anyways. I'm gonna just bring in Flusterstorm. And that's it. I think that's it. Just gonna bring in Flusterstorm and take out an island, I think. Yeah, shortcuts make a lot of combo decks easier in paper, but yeah, you're totally right though. Arias. I don't know. Because I definitely could hit. I could hit yes more often. I kind of want. I wish I could bind yes to F2 as well. I don't think I can bind both of them to F2, right? Can I bind yes to F2 as well? Arias. whatever works. I can't bind F2 as well, right? That's my problem. All of my like Proceed muscle memory is all bound on F2. I don't know. I don't know if there's a good way to fix that besides getting muscle memory on yes. Yeah, I've just used the F keys forever, so like I always use F2, F4, F3, F6. And control. I almost always click for yield until end step. The other ones I don't really use very much. So it's just if I can find a better way to bind yes, or just get used to the muscle memory. I guess technically I could bind it to F1. I just don't. Maybe I should just bind it to F1. I don't know. Here's a pretty good hand. I mean, the only problem with this hand is it dies to like an early combo hand from them. But I mean, I think I'm down to keep this with being up a game. This hand is obviously like quite good, right? I have the ability to discard my Fate Stitcher on turn 3 to my Channeler, return my Fate Stitcher and play an Ascendancy, then Gush. Like, this is probably a turn 3 kill. That's kind of slow in Vintage, but maybe F1 is the bind we need, chat. Maybe F1 is the bind we need. I could get down with F1 being yes. Let's think about it after. So they actually mold to 5 here, which gives us a shot of having a pretty solid. That's a good draw too. I don't know if I should save this for when I go off. Kind of don't think I'm supposed to save it for when I go off. Having a Force of Will is pretty important. Okay. Yeah, I would really, really like it if I could bind yes and pass the yes and okay to the same key. I mean, theoretically, almost all the time, yes and okay are doing the same thing, right? Wow, they hit Ancestral. Okay, this game might be a little bit more challenging than I thought it would be. Not a good draw. All right, we might lose on this turn, but if we get to go to our turn and they don't have a force, maybe we're in good shape. I really can't afford to use my gush this time, or else I'm not going to have very many chances to win, I think. So, well, they chose not to use Ancestral here. Why? Why would they choose not to use Ancestral? Maybe they know there's a Flusterstorm underneath this top. That's the only reason I can think of. Right? That's the only thing I can think of. The only reason you wouldn't Ancestral there is if you had a Flusterstorm. That must be what it is. What? Oh, they had a Tinker. They still should have cast Ancestral. So they play a land drop this turn? No? Wait, why wouldn't they spin so they could sack the Emerald instead of the top? Unless they knew they had Force of Will. The only way this play makes sense to me is if they knew that their top cards were Force of Will Tinker. Right? I mean, I still don't think I'm going to win if this thing resolves, so I think I have to gush. Oh, we didn't hit a force, so... Alright, theoretically, we could still hit a Moxen and get a Time Walk and be able to play this game, so I'll let them go off here. They hit a land off immediately. That's really good for us. They did cast Slaughter Games, which is probably not good for us. Shit. I have a feeling this is bad. Oh, they went for Breach? I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair, because I had to gush and use all my mana sources. Okay, I buy it. I buy it. That vibes. They still have an Ancestral here, even if they brick again. I don't really like Slaughter Games effects, mostly because every deck has alternative game plans built into it. Like, if you Slaughter Games a Breach from a Breach player, they can still kill you with Mentor. Or just kill you by drawing too many cards, right? Like, that's my biggest problem with... Well, Twin was a million clicks for me last time I played Twin, because the Exarch can untap or tap. And I had to always put it on the stack or something. I don't know. It was really shitty. Oh, we got passed back. We got passed back here. So if opponent didn't hit a Force of Will, and we can find a Moxen, we have a chance. We need to immediately find a Moxen. Okay. No, they had a Force on top. Yeah, nothing I can do about that. Repeal my Emerald. Yeah, I don't care about that. I'm just gonna pitch a Fage Stitcher. They're a little low life total now. If they don't hit their power cards like Will or Pio, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's pretty much impossible to fizzle from here, because they have an active dig through time into Pio with Snapcaster. I could just concede. I think this is pretty much impossible to fizzle from. I basically had to hope that the card they bricked off of on Bolus's Citadel was a land and not a force. If it was a land, I think we probably win, because we get to go... Oh, they hit Will. All right, well... I don't think that's how I would have played this turn. The problem with going Will is you can no longer chain snap POs. There's like some pretty serious problems with going the way opponent did. If you're playing PO in this situation, I would rather you didn't cast Yogg Will, and I would rather you cast Dig Through Time and find a PO. Because you're basically deterministic with, well, until you hit the Opal, you're not really deterministic, but POing Snapcaster and then looping every PO as 2 POs will draw your whole deck. Where like, I think opponent is still going to win with the line they took. But I don't think it's as... I think it has a possibility of not being deterministic. I could be wrong, though. I'll concede to Time Walk. No problem there. I don't like this. I don't like this line for closing the game as the PO player, but I think it's probably fine. I think all roads probably lead to victory at that point, but oh no, they didn't have the Time Walk. They just cast Time Walk off the top of their library. I think opponent got fairly lucky there. I really don't like that way of approaching that turn, but it's probably not a big deal. What's up? What's up, E-Star? Hi, Star. Yeah, hi, Star. Yeah, I think Pyroblast is garbage. Let's not play it. I don't know. What do I want Pyroblast for? I want them to Pyroblast me. Like, I'm not gonna plan on playing against PO, right? Yeah, but I don't actually think Pyro is actually good versus every deck in the format. Like, every deck in the format now just plays non-Pyroblastable threats. Like, Pyroblast isn't good against Breach. You know? Pyroblast isn't good against Bug. Pyroblast isn't good against Jeskai. It's only good against PO, right? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't actually think I need an Ascendancy. I have a Mentor. I don't know. I actually think Pyroblast is not at its highest point. I would definitely put a Hydroblast in your 75 in your sideboard. No, I'm not joking though. I'm seriously wondering, not me, what you think Pyroblast is actually good against, and why. I mean, I'm down to be wrong, but I just don't understand. Like, PO is not a deck that you prepare for anymore. It's just an extremely small metagame percentage. Blue, white. Yeah, but you have to have a red mana to hit Force of Will. It does. I don't know if I don't buy this. I really just don't buy this. How do I play this here? There's no way I can play Mentor with Flusterstorm backup yet, right? So what I should really do is just try to find a land drop. Yeah, but what are you doing with your Pyroblast then? If you're not countering the cards that matter, what does it do? I don't know. I don't buy it. No. This is actually my legitimate thoughts on the topic, not me. I really don't understand. So please tell me, because I just don't think it's that good. People are cutting Pyroblast at the moment. Pyroblast is dead a lot. Dredge is a huge metagame percentage. Shops is on the rise. PO doesn't exist. Pyroblast is not good against Bazaar. It's not good against Bug. It's barely good against Jeskai. It's like okay against Jeskai. It's not good. It's not that good against Breach. All of Breach's best spells are not Pyroblastable. I really just like you're hitting. I don't actually think like a lot of the times you're going to be able to Pyroblast those cards that you think you're going to. It's not that good against Doomsday either. Oko is not a card in Vintage. So I might be screwed here. I might actually just have to Gush and go for Ancestral with Flusterstorm backup. I think that's what I have to do, and that way I get to draw Force of Will. I didn't really want to Gush here, but oh well. This is going to overdraw me by like 1 million, isn't it? So maybe I'm not actually supposed to do what I just said I'm going to do. Maybe what I'll do is just... What am I going to do? Ancestral looks really bad here. Yeah, I'll just cycle some Manamorphoses. And then maybe we'll Merchant Scroll for another Force or something. I don't know. I don't like how I took this line. I think this line's shit. Whatever I just did was garbage, and I shouldn't have done it. Oh, I just did blue. Balonies. I did the wrong one. What if I just take Mental Misstep? Just take another Force. I don't like what I did there. Whatever I just did was terrible. I recommend not doing it. I don't know why I did that. I got really sucked into that Ponder when I don't think it was necessary for me to be that engrossed in that Ponder. Don't really know why I played it that way. I mean, that's pretty good draw. Next turn I can play Mentor. Yeah. I'm just not seeing it, not me. Like, I wish I got doesn't really make sense to me. Like, yeah, decks play blue cards, but the best cards in their deck are no longer blue. So all you're doing is hitting a bunch of Preordains and shit. Who cares? Just let the Preordain resolve. Like, I don't know, man. It's so disgusting. Mental Misstep, though. Mental Misstep, that's a Magic card. Oh my god, if they end this with a Flusterstorm, I look so dumb. Oh well. Yeah, but I don't think any of those decks are good, so who gives a fuck? Like, I don't think any of those Tinker decks, Hull Breacher decks are good. Why do I give a shit? Yeah, I top deck challenges every week with piles of garbage. Why does that matter? It's not consistent. That's the actual problem with those decks, is they are not consistent. They really drew Force of Will, Flusterstorm? Fuck. Like, Flusterstorm is infinitely better than Pyroblast right there. Why would you play Pyroblast when you can just play more Flusterstorms? No, we don't really have the data on Hull Breacher because it's not really a defining card. There's no such thing as a Hull Breacher deck. A Hull Breacher deck is just a Tinker deck. The Tinker deck, the Tinker aspect of Hull Breacher probably wins way more games than a Hull Breacher, just like the Tinker aspect of Pio probably wins more. And I get it. People think Pyroblast is super good right now. I'm not saying Pyroblast is bad. I just don't think like you need to jam 3 Pyroblasts in your main deck. I think that makes your deck worse. Why am I getting slaughter games? Are they going to hit my Underworld Breach or are they going to hit my Jeskai Ascendancy? I'm not salty. I just don't understand what Not Me's obsession with putting Pyroblast in a deck is right now. It just doesn't seem very good. They deemed Underworld Breach. Okay. I mean, they're out of cards now. And I have the ability to Mystic Sanctuary. However, I think I would rather just dig through time first. That way I'm not wasting this dig through time. Maybe that's dumb. Is that dumb? I think the Pyroblast should just go to the sideboard. I don't think you need to I think main decking Pyroblast right now in a format that has more bizarre decks and non-blue decks, I think it's just good. I don't know. I don't know. That's just my opinion, chat. You don't have to go too far into it. It's fine. I guess we want this Gush instead of this Ancestral. See, I think we would just want to take Channeler Ascendancy here, and then I'll just put the Gush back on top of my library or something. Try to win the game. I guess if opponent has Tinker, we lose if we do this line, but I think that's okay. I mean, I've already told you all of the things I had to say on the topic, so I don't really know what else you really want to hear. You can agree or disagree. I'm not saying Pyroblast is bad. I just don't think it's as good of a main deck card as people think it is, because it used to be very, very good. But Pio used to also be 20% of the metagame. If Pio is 20% of the metagame, yeah, Pyroblast is fucking lit. But Pio is 1% of the metagame right now. No one has Pios in their deck. In a tournament with 80 players, you'll have 2 paradoxical outcome players, which greatly reduces the power of your Pyroblasts. It's not an exaggeration to say that at its peak, Pio was 25% of the metagame. We have tournaments with over 200 people where Pio was 25% of the metagame. Or maybe it's 100 people. Snap Ancestral, that's fine. As long as you're not tinkering here, anything else is fine. The biggest problem is I need to find out how to... Oh god, you drew Time Walk? Oh, they have Swords to Plowshares in their deck. They brought in Swords to Plowshares versus me? Well, shit. Didn't really think I was getting Swords to Plowshares, chat. I'm of the opinion if you put a dead card in your deck versus 50% of the field, that's not a good thing. If you're Jeskai, you have a lot of deck fade-ins. It's fine. You can pitch your cards that are bad. But it's going to lose you decent percentages against a lot of players. Drawing Flusterstorms and Pyroblasts and Mental Missteps against Shops and Dredge is really bad. Alright, well at least this way I get to do another Sanctuary for Gush. Unless I have to force something, obviously. Shit. I have to force something. I hope they don't have Hardcast Force as their last card here. 1, 2, 3 PO and 6 for Force. Not much I can do about that. Like, I agree, having some Pyroblast in this matchup, fantastic. PO, super weak to Pyroblast. All of PO's threats are blue. It got Brainstorm instead of PO? Why? They board all the POs out? Isn't that weird? A weird chat? Yeah, but every deck has Mentor. Like, that's just how it is. Are they just brainstormed into a PO? It's really unfortunate, because I kind of wanted to play Sanctuary into double Ascendancy. But we're going to have to force PO here. The good part about this is... Oh. Okay, sure. What are you snapping back now? Oh, you have a Time Walk. And then you have Snap Time Walk. All right, opponent, you got me. You got me. I feel like just getting PO off of Merchant Scroll was better, but... your feeling is correct, Arius. From what I never kept track of that data. I always assumed that data was what you're saying, but Bryant kept track of that data, and Bryant said something around 60% of PO's wins were from Tinker, so you're totally right in that assumption. Yo, Devin, thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. We are playing Vintage Magic the Gathering. We're playing Mythic Society's weekly Vintage event. We're playing a really fun Jeskai Ascendancy deck. It's not going super well, but we kind of got vintaged in round 1. Got rolled over by Tinker. This match is a pretty close one. It's if anyone here is not following Dev, I think it's Shoutout Karate. I think it's Shoutout. Is it not Shoutout? All right, well, fuck. Well, I have to force that. And then they're just going to snap it back. So I guess I just lose the game. I thought Shoutout was a command, but I don't know. Either way, we're playing Mythic Society. We're playing a pretty close battle here versus Pia, but it looks like we just got a little outdrawn in the end. We gushed and we didn't really hit very well. Yeah, if I force this Yagwil, they just snap it back, so I really don't have a choice here. I kind of just have to let this all happen. I guess I can force the Time Walk is what I can do. I mean, they still probably win the game this turn. Because they have Brainstorm, Dig Through Time, Merchant Scroll for PO. I don't really think there's anything I can do about this, chat. Pretty sure we're just dead. Oh my god, the YouTube subscriptions. I can't turn them off. Devin, do you have any problem with your alert box on Streamlabs? Where it just hates you and it never takes your changes? Because I do. I have that problem. I think we're dead here, chat, unfortunately. My stupid alert box. I wish I could just get rid of it, but it doesn't save. What if I changed, like... It's just none of my changes save. I mean, I always have the names appear on the screen. I'm just trying not to have like the subs do the ding 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 because it kind of interrupts the content, which I don't like that much. I don't know how to fix it though. I guess I'll Google it more tonight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can't win from here, but what am I gonna do? Was this game 3, chat? I'm okay with dings on, you know, subscriptions like primes and stuff. I think that's fine. And raids, I'm okay. I want to know when a raid happens. But when people like follow or check out Twitter or whatever, I think it's kind of invades on the stream and interrupts the flow. But I'm okay with it appearing on the screen in the side. I like that. I just can't get it to do that without yelling at me with very large monster stuff. I just need a save button, you know? I really need... No bueno. Anyways, we're F6 here because we don't have any way to battle. Wait, where is their graveyard, chat? Did they cast all of their spells and not kill us? Shouldn't they have Merchant Scrolled for... Why don't they Merchant Scroll for Pio? Is it not in their deck? They must have boarded out every Pio. Because it just doesn't make sense to me that you wouldn't Merchant Scroll for Pio. Flashback Slaughter Games on what? Brain Freeze? Or on Fate Stitcher? Sure. Okay. I guess they're just trying to transform into a controlling Tinker deck post board where they cut the POs. But in that case, you should just cut the POs from your deck and just play Tinker deck. I'm down that we got another turn, though. That is okay with me. Huh. I don't think I can build enough Storm to kill them with a Brain Freeze, and I don't have a Breach in my deck, so I would have to hold this Brain Freeze the whole time. However, we could always play a Channeler game. I think I would rather just put this back and reordain pitching. This way I can pitch this Mox. Oh, I fucked up, chat. Yeah, that was the wrong order. That was the wrong order. All right, well, I guess we're not brain freezing our opponent. I mean, I guess it depends on how many how many swords they brought in. They might have just brought in both swords, and maybe I can't win. But I feel like the way we win this game is attacking with a channeler. So I don't know. Could be wrong. Like I just don't think without Fate Stitcher, it feels like it's very hard for us to pull off a full brain freeze unless they PO comboed. And maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Maybe we're supposed to hold brain freeze in our hand and then try to... It just doesn't seem like they're going to combo off anymore, right? Doesn't feel like they're comboing off anymore. I just drew another Ascendancy. Don't hate that. Time to attack, chat. Unfortunately, this costs very awkward mana, and I'm not pitching this Preordain, so we're getting in there. They can double block with that Snapcaster Mage, which I think is fine. It chose not to do that. They're at 6 life. Like, we're probably going to have lethal next turn. Unless they pitch the Snapcaster Mage somewhere. Anyone know? No? Looks like it's in their hand still. Oh, now they're going to snap back Pyroblast. Maybe that was a mistake then. Wait, then why didn't they just snap Pyroblast that last turn? Did they use the Pyro on my turn or something? I don't remember. All right. So question becomes, what do we do about this? What the fuck do we do about this? Do I have a Bolt in my deck still? I should have a Bolt in my deck. I think I want to just start by casting Preordain. Nope. That's a nice one. All right, I'm down for that. You want a double block here? I'm in. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to take me more than 3 minutes to finish this game. I don't really have any intricate decisions left to make. I'm down with this double block here. Works for me. I'm going to hold this Lotus in case we want to pitch it to this channeler later. Oh, they found a force? That's not good for me. Oh, hard cast Mindbreak Trap. That's yikes. How many channelers do I have left? I have 1 channeler left in my deck to win the game with. And they drew a Citadel that they hard cast. All right, well, I guess we're gonna lose. I guess what we should have done is held the Brain Freeze in our hand and just tried to catch them comboing. They went to 3 life to tinker what? To Lotus? The top? Top? I have a Bolt in my deck. If I just draw the Bolt, that's the game. I mean, they have a top. They just have to draw their Mentor, right? And attack. The problem is Bolt is one of our 19 cards. We got to find the Bolt. I mean, now they went to 1. They can't fetch anymore. They're going to Demonic for Mentor. Yeah. That's true. We just scryed a bunch to the bottom. We also have a bunch of draw spells, I would assume. We might not actually have a bunch of draw spells, but I feel like there are some number of draw spells left in our deck, right? Preordain. Oh, maybe not. Ponder. There might be 1 Preordain in our deck. I don't know. Who cares? We do the thing. Hope it works. Oh, there's our other channeler, chat. Not a bad draw. It's a 4/4. It looks at 3 cards next turn, or like an extra 2 cards next turn. It's not over. They exiled their Time Walk. I mean, I forced the Time Walk that was getting exiled. So they can't Time Walk on us, but they could just have 10 permanents and kill us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's probably hard for us to win, to be perfectly honest, but maybe they don't see it. Oh, all right, okay. All right, okay. I'm pretty sure I'm just supposed to activate Channeler and try to hit Lightning Bolt right now. I guess I could do that at any time, but I could also hit Preordains. Dome you! Survey says! Oh, they found a Force of Will. Unfortunate. Maybe I could have waited 1 more turn, I guess. Try to find a blue card for my Force. No, I can't Force because they have a Lavinia. Yeah, this was correct. It just didn't work out. We made the right play. It just didn't work. Close match. Close match. I don't think I agree with my opponent's assessment of this matchup. My opponent decided to board out all of their POs, but I'm not playing any Pyroblasts. I don't agree with how they would have they chose to board. I think it's much stronger for our opponent to keep 4 POs in and just try to combo kill us. All we have is four Force of Wills. Like, opponent decided to play a controlling game when I just don't think that's necessary. I think they're like the better combo deck. They should just go for it. But it's a choice they made. I'll concede before we run out of time. I accidentally registered the wrong deck, so like, I'm okay with that. Don't need to clock anybody at the FNM. Was that 3 games, chat? It was 3 games? I don't remember. Which ones did we win? Game 2? It breaks every so often, not me. If you refresh the page, it sometimes fixes it. Sometimes it doesn't.